Okay, hi all my friends. All right, so I want to finish up chapter 31, in First Samuel, and then we'll get into Second Samuel. Okay. So Saul, having lost his army at Gilboa and his sons being slain, he and his armor bearer killed themselves. Philistines triumphed over their dead bodies. The men of Jabesh Gilead recovered the bodies and buried them at Jebresh. Yeah, okay. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines and fell down slain in the Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons, and the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Melchizedek, Saul's son. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sorely wounded by the archers. Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, Draw thy sword, thrust me through therewith, lest the uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But his armor bearer would not, for he was sore afraid. And therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it. And when his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, his armor bearer, and all his men that same day together. And when the men of Israel that were on the other side of the valley, and they that were on the other side of Jordan saw the men of Israel fled, and Saul and his sons were dead, they forsook the cities and fled. And the Philistines came and dwelt in them. And it came to pass on the morrow, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, they found Saul and his 3 sons fallen in the Mount Gilboa. And they cut off his head and stripped off his armor, and sent unto the land of the Philistines round about to publish it in the house of their idols and among the people. And they put his armor in the house of Asheroth, and they fastened his body to the wall of Bethshan. And then the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard of which the Philistines had done to Saul. And all the valiant men rose and went all night, and took the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons from the wall of Bashan, and came to Jabesh and burnt them there. And they took their bones and buried them under a tree at Jabesh, and fasted 7 days. The second book of Samuel. Hang on just 1 second. Samuel. Just want to find something here for you. Okay. Okay, so the second book of Samuel, again, the author is unknown. The main subject, the reign of David. It's the first period, the early years of the reign, during the period of the king, although engaged in military campaigns common to the age, yet manifest a spiritual mind. And the primary events is the execution of the Amalekite who slew King Saul, David's lamentation for Saul and Jonathan, David anointed king, the battle, the facts which indicate the king's godliness, A, seeking the divine direction, B, the punishment of those who sought to carry favor by assassinating his rival, C, his discernment, having been exalted to be king over all Israel and perceiving that his promotion had come from God, and D, his humility, E, his enthusiasm, F, his desire to build a temple for Jehovah and dedicate the great treasure of its erection, and G, his kindness to the son of Jonathan. The middle period, the king's great military success, his fall and punishment, tempted while at ease, his pollution of a humble home and murder of Uriah, divine judgment overtakes him, his denunciation by Nathan the prophet, in the death of the babe, in corruption of his sons Amnon and his son Absalom's rebellion. The final period, David's last years and choice selections, David's generosity to Mephibosheth, and Nathan's parable, David's psalms of thanksgiving. So this ought to be really good. Okay, so let's see if we can get into it. Okay, so first chapter, an Amalekite brings tidings of Saul's death. David laments Saul and Jonathan. Now it came to pass after the death of Saul that when David returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, and David had abode 2 days in Ziklag, it came even to pass on the third day that, behold, a man came out of the camp from Saul with his clothes rent and the earth upon his head. And so it was that when he came to David, that he fell to the earth and did obstinance. Okay. I'm sorry, let me read that again. And when it came to David, that he fell to the earth and did obstinance. And David said unto him, From whence comest thou? And he said it unto him, Out of the camp of Israel I escaped. And David said unto him, How went the matter? I pray thee, tell me. And he answered, That the people are fled from the battle, many of the people are also fallen and dead. And Saul and Jonathan his son are dead also. And David said unto the young man that told him, How knowest thou that Saul and Jonathan his son to be dead? And the young man that told him said, As I happened by chance upon the Mount Gilboa, behold Saul, and leaned upon his spear, and lo, the chariots and horsemen followed hard after him. And then he took behind him, he saw me, and called unto me, and I answered, Here am I. And he said unto me, Who art thou? And I answered him, I am an Amalekite. And he said unto me again, Stand, I pray thee, upon me, slay me, for anguish is come upon me, because my life is yet whole in me. So I stood upon him and slew him, because I was sure that he could not live after that he was fallen. And I took the crown that was upon his head and the bracelet that was upon his arm, and gave them hither unto my Lord. And then David took hold of his clothes and rent them, and likewise all the men that were with him. And they mourned and wept and fasted until even, for Saul and for Jonathan his son, and for the people of the Lord, and for the house of Israel, because they were fallen by the sword. And David said unto the young man that told him, Whence art thou? And he answered, I am the son of a stranger, an Amalekite. And David said unto him, How wast thou not afraid to stretch thine forth the hand to destroy the Lord anointed? And David called on one of the young men and said, Go near and fall upon him. And he smote him that he died. And David said unto him, Thy blood be upon thy head, for thy mouth hath testified against thee, saying, I have slain the Lord's anointed. And David lamented with this lamentation over Saul and over Jonathan his son. Also he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the law of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher. See, even they read the book of Jasher. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. I'm just so upset that they've taken out these books from the Bible. Book of Jasher, Jubilees, the Maccabees, Anyway, okay. So, the beauty of Israel is slain upon thine high places. How are the mighty fallen? Tell it not in Gath, publish it not in the streets of Askelon, lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice, lest the daughters of the uncircumcised triumph. Ye mountains of Gilboa, let there be no dew, neither let there be rain upon you, nor fields of offering, for there of the shield of the mighty is vilely cast away, the shield of Saul, as though he had not been anointed with oil. From the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan turned not back, and the sword of Saul returned not empty. Saul and Jonathan were lovely and pleasant in their lives, and their death they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles, they were stronger than lions. Ye daughters of Israel wept over Saul, who clothed you in scarlet and other delights, who put ornaments of gold upon your apparel. How are the mighty fallen in the midst of the battle? O Jonathan, thou wast slain in thy high places. I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant thou hast been unto me. Thy love to me was wonderful, passing the love of women. How are the mighty fallen, and the weapons of war perished? I'm going to stop there. And we'll continue with chapter 2 next time. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you, friends. Like, share, and leave me a comment, okay? Let me know what's going on with you, and tell other people about it if they want to hear the Word of God. Trying to read the Bible. Hopefully I'll get done this year. Only doing 15 minutes a day or so, or maybe 30. It's going to take a while. Anyway, thank you for hanging in there with me. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.